Yeah, so now we're inside
the Great Buganda Lukiiko.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so you're welcome.
Thank you.
This is what? This is phase 2, because we had the
Outside part?
we had the monument.
Yes.
And now we are in the Great Buganda Lukiiko.
Yes.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, you're welcome to the Great Buganda Lukiiko, and we're gonna be, so this where you're seeing this platform is where the king's throne is placed.
Yeah.
Oh yes, and it's placed on every session where the king is here or not. And then these seats that you're seeing here, they are the seats of the members of the parliament of Buganda. Now the first seat there, where you see that stool, is for the prime minister. Yeah, the Katikiro. Okay. Yes, and his deputies, there are 3. Then the attorney general and the head of treasury, Omwanika. Then the behind seats are occupied by the heads of the different kingdom organizations.
Yeah. We can actually speak the different head titles in Uganda.
Okay. Katikiro, Nabamyukabe, the deputies. Then the attorney general is Sabaoleriza. Okay. Wa government of Uganda. Okay. Then the treasurer is Omwanika. Then the behind seats are occupied by the Basenku.
The heads of the different organizations of Buganda.
Like the Buganda Heritage and Tourism Board.
Yes.
The Senkulu City Buganda Land Board, CBS, Ketu, and all those. Then these
Nkuluze.
The head of Nkuluze. Then these 2 seats are occupied by the ministers, especially these first 2 seats. Then the behind 2 seats are occupied by representatives of, say, the youths in the different counties, and all those people. They occupy those behind seats. Now this seating is for the normal session when the king is not here. Then the last row is occupied by the members of the royal family and the royal treasury. Then this seat is occupied by the clan head.
This side. Okay. And this one?
This one is occupied by the speaker. The big one is occupied by the speaker, and the small one is for the clerk. The other one is Omukubiriza Lukiiko. Oh. Yeah. The current Omukubiriza Lukiiko is Owekitiibwa Patrick Luwaga Mugumbule. Okay. Yes, former Kago. Kago is a title for the county head for Chadwa. Then here, the small seat is for the clerk, Omwandisi Lukiiko, is Omukungu David Ntege. Then these 2 seats by the county chiefs. Remember, Buganda has geographical boundaries, which are the 18 counties. Yes. And each county has a county chief who is appointed by the king on merit. Then the last row by the sub-county chiefs, and some represented from the different counties. Then the galleries for the public, just like you and me. But we are very lucky that we are doing this
down
inside here, where the members of the Lukiiko sit. Yes. That's the normal session. Yes. Or the normal seating when the king is not here.
Yes, Joseph.
Now, when the king is here, there are some few changes that happen in this Lukiiko, like the Katikiro and his deputies, the attorney general, head of treasury. They shift now to this seat, closer to the king.
When the king is around.
When the king is around.
Perfect.
And that seat for the speaker and the clerk, none sits there. They all leave. So when the king is seated here, those seats are empty. There. Because remember, as all of respect then, the members of the Lukiiko used not to look direct to the king's eyes. So it is maintained here. You see that? Yes. Then that is the emblem for Buganda Kingdom.
The shield, spear, and the lion.
Yeah, shield and spears as a sign of protection. Then the lion as a sign of the king. Because the lion is the king of the jungle. So our king is the lion of Buganda. Wow. And is as strong as that lion. Oh yeah. Now we have got a few kings called Sekabakas. Yes. Sekabakas to mean kings that passed on. We have Sekabaka Mutesa I. We have Sekabaka Daniel Mwanga. We have Sekabaka Daudi Chwa II. We have Sekabaka Mutesa II. And then the current Kabaka. Oh yeah. But we shall get some details about each king, if it is okay with you.
Yes.
For the good of our viewers.
Yes, we're going to do another video where we where we dissect the history of Buganda. We look at the kings, the monarchies, all those beautiful things. I think we can do that when we're at the palace. Yes.
Yeah, but here we can get, I think, a brief of these kings, then we can get the details when we get to.
Yeah, perfect.
Palace. Now,
Let's do that.
Kabaka Mutesa I,
Yes.
he's not the first king, or he was not the first king of Buganda.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't tell you that when the king is alive, he's called Kabaka. And when he passes on, he's called Sekabaka.
Why? Why is this like that?
Now, kings in Buganda don't die. We don't say that the king has died.
Okay.
Remember, the first king, Chintu, is said to have got lost in the forest. Then the second one was Chwanabaka II, is also said to have got lost. So from the third king, you could not convince in Uganda that the king dies when the two had disappeared in the forest. So from that time on, kings disappear in the forest. Actually, this, when you go to the tombs, it's very clear. We have got the sacred forest where the real tombs of the kings are. Then the area in front of the back, that's where we've got, raised platforms for those kings. Now, Mutesa I was the 30th king of Buganda. And the coming of the first white man, you remember John Speak and James Grant, all those people, Stanley, they came on his reign. But before we had the Arabs, who came during the reign of Sekabaka Suna, father to Mutesa I. Sekabaka Suna is the one at Wamala tombs.
Yes.
Now, John Speak.
Oh God, Buganda has so much history and so many beautiful culture sites. You're talking about Kasumi tombs, you're talking about Wamala tombs, and at one point you're going to talk about Kateleke
and several others.
We're going to have videos where we're going to talk about all these different places.
So we shall just give them a bit of this king so they keep locked on the channel.
Yes, let's do that. Let's have a seat and dissect a bit of every king.
Okay.
Then we shall do more later.
Not a problem. We can have a seat anywhere you choose. We can do it.
Yeah. So I believe we shall be audible enough. So we do not need this. Okay. Yeah. So you are still telling me about Sekabaka?
Yeah.
Mutesa the first. Yes.
John Speak and James Grant.
Yes.
Came around 1856. Yeah, they came to Buganda and they were welcomed by him. I told you that before them coming, we had the Arabs who came traveling inland from Zanzibar.
Yes.
And that time the king of Buganda was Sekabaka Suna, father to Mutesa I.
Yes.
And by the time Suna disappeared, these Arabs had started, spreading Islam. Yeah, so that made Islam the first foreign religion to
we had
Buganda.
In Uganda.
Yeah. Now, we had Henry Martin Stanley, and through Stanley, Kabaka wrote a letter to Queen Victoria. After Stanley being of help to the king, the Stanleys advised to the king in the battles and all.
But then how did they interact since the king did not know English and Stanley did not know Uganda?
That's what makes these kings amazing. Yeah. So now the advice that he was giving to the king and all that. So the king liked that fact. So it was like, can you bring people that can teach my people?
Wow, that is so smart.
This kind of thinking. And
I wanted people to be very advanced and very smart.
Yeah. So they wrote a letter through him to Queen Victoria, inviting the European teachers to bring European teachings here. And those were the missionaries.
Yes.
Remember, they came in two groups, the White Fathers from France and the Church Missionary Society.
Yes. And apparently the letter was published in some newspaper, I think the London Times at the time. Now,
the Church Missionary Society, those were the Anglicans. They came around 1877. Then the White Fathers around 1879. So remember, they came when the Arabs were already here. So the primary reason for them coming was to teach the people how to read and write, not preaching the gospel.
Yes.
You see?
Yes.
So they started, preaching the gospel, using the fact that they're preaching, they're teaching the people how to read and write as a bait. Yeah. So it was easy for someone to be convinced because someone comes like that, teaching you how to read and write, and they pass on the gospel. You see?
Yeah.
But what was challenging was that, these people, they were in two groups. Had the White Fathers who are Catholics, and then the Anglicans, but they're all saying praise God. You see that challenge? So he passed on when these wrangles was on.
The
that
religious
confusion.
wars.
Yeah. No, before.
Before the religious wars. Okay.
Before the religious wars. So the confusion, which is which? The Arabs are preaching Islam, and there's these two groups are preaching the same, same gospel, but they're different groups.
Okay.
So Mwanga came in. Mwanga came in, and Mwanga got a challenge with these people.
Oh yeah.
The challenge.
And Mwanga was a Muslim?
No.
Mwanga wasn't a Muslim?
He was not.
Okay.
Yeah, but he found when these people, the Arabs, had preached the Islam even in the palace, and they were preaching Christianity and all that. But Mwanga was confused by the fact that there were two groups.
Yes.
And that part of the Lord's Prayer that says that our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be your name.
The kingdom comes.
So he was confused. Which kingdom will come? Maybe he thought Jesus was another king somewhere.
Ooh,
time will come
to take over Uganda.
You see that?
Wow.
And Mwanga is not a joker. For anyone who threatened, his
reign.
Oh yeah. So Mwanga, the story is long. Is the brains behind the Kabaka's leg.
Yes.
The
we're going to visit the Kabaka's leg.
Oh yes.
We shall talk about Mwanga, I believe, there.
In detail.
Yes.
Oh yeah. The Christian missionaries.
The matters.
The matters.
Here's a lot of.
There's a story there, which I think we shall do in detail.
At another time.
Yeah.
You see, guys, subscribe to my channel. There is so much stories from Buganda Kingdom coming up.
And that's when they will know that Mwanga is not the one who killed these people. So from Mwanga, we had two other kings that don't appear here. We had Joseph Chiwewa and Rashid Kalema, because Mwanga was exiled. And the throne does not take 24 hours without a king. So they had to, get someone who would keep the throne, but not crowned officially. Because kings are crowned when the latter has passed on. And Mwanga was alive. So Joseph Chiwewa, there is a story there why, he did not last on the throne. Because Chiwewa is the name given to the firstborn boys.
And the firstborn boys do not take the crown.
So now, Rashid Kalema,
Is it the one for Chitereke?
Yeah, is the one behind that. It's another good story. They don't appear here, but they ruled Buganda
at the time.
So Chiwewa, after Mwanga disappearing in the islands, after being baptized to Daudi. Daniel Mwanga. Yeah, he was baptized that name.
So he died as a Christian.
Yeah, died as a Christian. In the islands, they were exiled by. You've heard about Kabarega.
Yes.
Who was the king of
Kabarega.
Yeah.
Yes.
So from him, we had Daudi Chwa.
Yes.
The famous one who became
a king at 3 years.
Very young.
3 years, 3 months.
1 year.
1 year.
Yeah, 1 year. He was a very young king, but a lot happened on his reign. And he's the first king of Buganda who had a royal wedding. At Nakamanya. Yeah, he's the first king of Buganda. And
all the things I didn't even know.
And this thing of ladies eating chicken and eggs in Buganda, it all started on his reign. Before his reign, chicken and
eggs
was
we have suffered.
But not your,
yeah, that's me. My grandmothers have suffered.
And they were okay with it, by the way. So you're married to a man and you're preparing sauce. You do the man chicken, you do yourself peanuts or anything else. Because chicken and eggs was part of bride price, and they believe that when a lady eats chicken or egg before getting married,
then she won't get married.
She may not get married, or she may have reduced her chance of getting married. So when
therefore I am off chicken and eggs. I'm off, never, not eating them again.
Who?
Me?
I don't think so. Now, Daudi Chwa, another thing is that girl child education
began at his reign.
That's why those famous schools, the guy has girls' schools, were built on his reign. He had never seen girls going to school. But when he visited the European countries, Germany, France, and all that, he saw
He traveled a lot as well.
He was the first king to visit the European countries. So he saw, girls at bad stop. He had never seen that. So, when he came back, was like, no, girls. Priority then was given to boys. Priority to formal education was given to boys. And girls received so much of informal education.
Wow.
So from him, he died around 1949. So he was succeeded by his son, that is Kabaka the second, the first constitutional president
of Uganda.
The one who was attacked in the palace. Remember the year we talked about?
1966, the Kabaka's crisis.
Oh yes. And that was 24th May. He was the king and then the president for the constitution. And this disturbed a lot, this guy, Obodi. And it was envy we should talk about that history. It was envy that this guy attacked him in the palace.
Wow.
So from him, after being exiled, when he was exiled,
the 27 years of no king.
So he died or he disappeared. Remember we said that kings don't die.
Yeah,
he disappeared and he was succeeded by his son.
Kabaka Ronald Muwenda the second.
Yeah, that was in 1969.
Yeah.
And all the rituals that confirmed the king were done.
But he never sat on the throne.
He was not crowned officially.
Yeah.
Because he was not in Buganda.
Yes.
He was outside Buganda. And
Yeah,
kings
true.
of Buganda are crowned in Buganda. So
another beautiful site with rich history. Oh my God, thank you very much, Joseph.
So from him we had the current one, who is Ronald Muwenda the second.
Yes.
He's the current king of Buganda, born to 5 children.
Yeah, and he was coronated first time 1993.
Oh yeah.
31st July, and that's what we're going to celebrate Friday.
Oh yes.
Yes.
Oh,
Since we're having the pandemic, we're going to do it virtually, and we're trying to do as much as we can to make social media, everyone out there, to know that the king's coronation is happening.
Yeah, guys should keep locked.
Yeah.
Onto this channel.
Yeah, just keep locked, guys. Subscribe to my channel. Let me know what you think about this content. We're going to share more videos about the Royal Mile, about each king in detail, about the Kabakas, like about the palace, about the teacher chambers. So much. Just subscribe to my channel. Let me know what you think about this content. Bye.
Bye-bye.